It's about time I built a flamethrower. I mean, all the stuff I've done and I haven't built a flamethrower? You have got to be kidding me. Let's get a plan together. All right, so here's the plan. Gonna use one of these little CO2 tire inflators. Used these in the video before. Very super handy. They're super cool. It's like basically like a mini 850 PSI air supply that fits right in your hand like that. And CO2 is cheap if you buy 12 gram cartridges. I love these, all right? Reason it's CO2 is important is because if you were to use compressed air, and since the gas is volatile, right? It mixes with the air and you were to get fire back in there, compressed air and gasoline fumes, boom! You know, not what you want. So the way it works is I'm gonna have a CO2 cartridge, all right? And that pushes air into the chamber, which pushes the gas out a kind of straw there. And then you have a spark or something to ignite it. I'm gonna do a 2-pipe design. Basically, it's just 2 reservoirs right beside each other, and that way I don't have to do one giant reservoir, one really long. It basically makes it smaller and more like easy to use, I guess. So that is plan A for the flamethrower, 2-part design, hopefully make it smaller. To figure out how long I'm gonna need to make these pipes, I'm going to use a math, all right? This is Boyle's law, I think. I'm not quite sure. So basically, it's P1 times V1 equals P2 times V2. P equals pressure, V equals volume, in case you didn't figure that out. I modified that to find volume 2, and that's V2 equals P1 times V1 divided by P2. All right, plug the numbers in, get 0.47633 liters. That comes out to 29.07 cubic inches of space I need. To get that in a cylinder shape, you just use volume of a cylinder equation. You probably learned this in 4th grade and forgot it a year later. V equals pi radius squared times the height. And then you modified that to find the height, plugged all the numbers in, you get 14.27 inches long, which is divided by 2 because I'm using 2 pipes, 7 inches each pipe. That should be able to use up almost an entire one of these and get all the gas out, and it should be pretty evenly matched. So yeah, that should be it. Gotta go make a run to the hardware store. See you there. Whoa. Unduple. Oh yeah. Ha. Ha. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Aye aye. Mamma mia! It doesn't work. Yeah, basically, got it all done, machined everything, blew like $30 worth of inserts on the lathe, and welded up, and it just leaks like a sieve. The problem is the EMT is like stretchy and flexible, and when I fill it with air, I can feel it flexing out in my hand. So it just makes the welds crack a little bit, and there's also a couple pinholes in the weld. And you know, it's not really a big deal. You know, you're just dealing with, you know, highly pressurized, highly flammable liquids. But, you know, better do it right. So I'm gonna scrap the whole two-part idea, and I'm gonna go with a single piece of really thick metal, and hopefully it works a lot better. Plug in the numbers, and I get 5.827 inches of pipe I'm gonna need. So let's do it all over again.
lot of heat, boys. Woo.
So this thing actually turned out really good. As far as functionality goes, I couldn't expect anything better. Man, this is great. I can't believe it. It works, and it works well. I was about to give up after that first attempt, but I'm glad I kept moving on and persevering and getting this done, because this is great, man. I've always wanted a flamethrower. The ignition system couldn't have worked better. See, I have the electrical switch tied into the valve here, so they activate the both at the same time. That's cool. Also, the cap here, that turned out well. I just can't get an O-ring to seal very well in there. As far as the air to fuel ratio, it's perfect. Sometimes I run out of CO2 just a little bit before I run out of gas. Sometimes I run out of gas just a little bit before I run out of CO2. So that worked better than expected. I mean, my math, I wasn't sure, but it worked out. Everything works, and that's more than I can ask for. Oh, the igniter here is just a high voltage taser thing or whatever. And then I just have it, coming out there. So I do need to re-insulate these wires because the insulation melted because I was like the flamethrower, and every now and then it arcs back somewhere there. So all I need to do is coat that in a little bit of, stuff. So the only problem with it is the paint. Who knew that gasoline melts stuff, right? It melts the paint right off. So of course the first thing I do after it's freshly painted and stuff is I fill it and overflow it. So and the paint just kind of melts off, as you can probably see on my hand. It was a lot worse, but I washed it off. So that's the only problem, is the paint doesn't withstand the gasoline. But I should have known. I need to get a powder coating set up. That would be really cool if I could powder coat stuff. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to boost me in the mysterious thing that is the YouTube algorithm, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.